Uh, Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the November 2025 regular board meeting of the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh. Our first order of business is roll call. I'll let the record reflect, pardon me, all board members are present with the exception of Director Williamson, who will be joining us late, and Director Connolly is joining us online. Moving on, the approval of our October 9th, 2025 board meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on the board meeting minutes? Seeing none then, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? The minutes are approved. Do also want to note for the public that the URA Board met in our regular executive session today, November 13th. Next order of business is public comment, and I will turn it over to Talia O'Brien.
Good afternoon, Talia O'Brien, Government Affairs Analyst at the URA. Members of the public are welcome to provide comments on agenda items during URA Board of Directors meetings. Comments can be made in person, virtually, via Zoom, or in writing. Registration is required for both in-person and virtual comments. Registration opens at 2 p.m. on the Tuesday prior to the board meeting and closes at 1 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Written comments submitted before 1 p.m. on the day of the meeting, along with comments made during the meeting, will be included in the public minutes and become part of the meeting record. Each public commenter will have 3 minutes to speak, beginning when you start your remarks. A timer will be used and the sound will notify you when your time is up. If you registered to comment virtually, our staff will unmute your microphone via Zoom when it's your turn. Our first registered public commenter is Ronald Lawrence, joining us in person.
Good afternoon, I guess it's for everybody. I always
Good
ask
afternoon.
everybody. My name is Ron Lawrence. I'm innocent bystander here, I guess. I'm from the community of Pittsburgh. And I've been watching some of the URA contracts and issues and facing the URA. I'd like to make a plea, though, for our community, guys. I'm in the African-American community, and we've been striving over the years to make up for what we lost during the steel mill years. The community in Pittsburgh, I've been all over the country. I retired about 10 years ago from the transportation industry. I put in train systems all over the world. So I'm used to working a lot with the DBE requirements and making sure it's happening. And when we did that religiously in the contracts I worked on back in the 1990s and 2000s. And I'd like to see that stay a part of your contracts. We need it desperately, guys, for our community. We lost a lot since the steel mills. When I moved here in 1978, the workers here were making $20 an hour. That was a fee for the union for being in the union in 1978 in the steel mills. Today, when I retired in 2015 at Bombardier, our factory workers were making $15 an hour. So we went way back, and it's hurt our community, the African-American community, tremendously. So DBE contracts are very important to keep that in the contracts and make sure we focus on that. I work with Maynard Jackson in the Atlanta airport. I work with Mayor Webb in the Denver airport. I worked in San Francisco with the BART system. I work with New York with the MTA projects in New York. And we all had a DBE contract and DBE requirements in all those contracts. And they are extremely, extremely important to our community. So I'd like to make sure I get my message across that we need to make sure we get that support in there and keep that support in there. I'm just making a plea for that, to keep that support in there and as we move forward with the contractual information, okay? Thank you so much. I just want to make those comments.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ronald. Our next registered speaker is Chiquita Barnett, joining us via Zoom. Chiquita, your 3-minute timer will start once you begin speaking. It looks like Chiquita is not online yet, so we can come back at the end. Our next registered speaker is Megan Hammond, also joining us virtually.
Good afternoon, URA Board. My name is Megan Hammond. I'm the Executive Director of the Fair Housing Partnership of Greater Pittsburgh. My public comment today is about the Housing Opportunity Fund. As the board is aware, Pittsburgh has entered its budget process this week. And due to ongoing changes to revenue and expenses, a repeated point is being made about whether Pittsburgh will continue remitting the $10 million to the Housing Opportunity Fund. I deeply understand budgetary difficulties. As Pittsburgh's budgetary process continues, I implore Pittsburgh and the URA to prioritize retaining the Housing Opportunity Fund. An incredible amount of work has been invested in the HOF functionality. However, more importantly, the HOF is an incredible vehicle for public participation and transparency in the decision-making of investing into affordable housing while having limited resources. For example, perhaps you've all seen this week the Washington Post article highlighting Pittsburgh's affordability for home buying compared to cities nationwide. The article identifies but doesn't recognize the severity of how our aged housing stock, with its delayed maintenance, is a driver of our comparatively lower home prices. The HOF's Housing Assistance Program existed before the Whole Homes Program and so far exists after Whole Homes as a unique and citywide investment into home repairs. The HOF provides a vehicle for continuous public engagement on how the HAP functions in a manner that the URA board simply doesn't have the capacity for, such as discussing how to manage a wait list that drastically outnumbers the available funds, the status of the HAP spend down, and the pragmatic obstacles of conducting home rehabilitation and more. The HOF is Pittsburgh's commitment that affordable housing has a dedicated and regular investment, regardless of all else that occurs. I implore the city and the URA for this commitment to continue. We'll never have enough funds, but that we continue trying. Thank you all for your hard work. After all, 2026 can't be worse than 2025, right? Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Megan. Our next registered speaker is Jacqueline Hill, also joining us on Zoom.
Good afternoon. I'm Jacqueline Hill, President of the Pittsburgh Branch NAACP. I am speaking today because I would like a clear understanding of your opposition to signing the Regional Workforce Equity Agreement. The implementation of the Regional Workforce Equity Agreement will help every Pittsburgh resident access opportunity for advancement, stimulate local economies, boost incomes, and increase tax revenue from businesses and employees. Increase earnings and spending power among African American residents improves quality of life and would significantly reduce crime. The agreement will deliver significant local benefits for the city of Pittsburgh and its residents. During the pilot implementation of the Robert E. Williams Park, the workforce equity targets are expected to yield hundreds of new employment opportunities for residents and on upcoming projects as the agreement expands citywide. New projects under the recent public funding rounds propose creating between 500 and 2,000 new jobs, depending on the project scale and duration. Residents would see an average construction wages due to union and prevailing wages anywhere between $40,000 and $65,000 per year in the Pittsburgh area. Using a conservative estimate of 500 to 1,000 local jobs, that would be created under the agreement, the total direct payroll to local households could range between $20 to $65 million per year. There is only an upside to implementing the Regional Workforce Equity Agreement for the URA, the City of Pittsburgh, and all of its residents. In addition to the tremendous economic benefits, it lays the framework for the inclusion of all city residents, those who have been sidelined and unable to access opportunity. As stated in the beginning, what is your opposition to the Regional Workforce Equity Agreement? The African American community would appreciate specifics for your opposition. Our quality of life depends on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Our last registered speaker for today was Sandra Cole joining us on Zoom, but she is not online. So at this time, we'd like to open it up to folks who are here in person. If anyone else is here and would like to provide public comment, please feel free to do so.
Good afternoon, board members, and to those who are here today. I have two comments for me today. I'm here primarily to celebrate the win in releasing the funds for the Greater Hill District Neighborhood Reinvestment Fund. Hill CDC in particular has worked very hard on that, and we are so excited to be working with the URA to get those funds out into the community, particularly under Councilman Lavelle's leadership and partnership with the Hill CDC. My name is Marimba Malyans. I'm president and CEO of the Hill CDC. I don't think I said that at the top of the meeting. I'd also like to comment on the regional workforce initiative as well. I'd like to ask the URA to advance that work. It is critically important. I can tell you, as an organization that is engaged in development on a day-to-day basis, that we are not seeing the levels of equitable hiring that we need to see within Pittsburgh. And I think that one of the challenges that we have is that the funding sources and those who have the power are not requiring diversity on the website. It's on paper, but there really is no enforcement mechanism in order to ensure that we're getting those results. So what we need is funds that are attached to outcomes, and owners, meaning those who are getting city funds, those who are getting funds from other public sources, to actually enforce those outcomes on the site. And not on paper, but in real life. Again, as someone who is managing an actual work site, I am here to say that it takes hands-on enforcement to get those outcomes, but it will never, ever happen if the URA does not endorse an initiative and around equity specific to workforce, as well as DBEs. So with that, thank you.
Thank you. This concludes our public comment period. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Talia. Were we able to find Chiquita Barnett? Anyone? Okay, just wanted to double check.
Double check. She's not online yet.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. We have a number of announcements today. The first of which I will turn it over to our executive director.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Sushila Nimani Stanger, and just wanted to make some brief comments about, as the public's been made aware in the news and various URA and SEA statements, I think it's important to take a moment and just acknowledge that the Lower Hill Option Agreement between the URA, SEA, and the Penguins Development Arm, PAR, has expired. This leaves many questions and concerns about the future of the site, especially the parcels that sit undeveloped. I acknowledge the heaviness of those questions and uncertainty, while also stressing that this moment in time serves as an opportunity. There's an opportunity to collectively regroup among committed partners and community stakeholders to ensure that long-awaited development occurs. Our goal remains to ensure equitable development occurs at the site, and we, the URA and SEA, are thoughtfully discussing a future timeline. While we can't immediately answer every question that the community, public, and the media want to know about what's next, please know that discussions are ongoing between the URA, SEA leadership and staff, and our respective boards of directors, the Executive Management Committee, which is made up of community representatives and officials at the City of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County. With that, I'd like to open up to our board members for any additional remarks, questions, or comments.
Councilman.
Thank you. I'll briefly say that, yes, this is an opportunity. I think it's a really exciting opportunity. Said it before, I respect the Pittsburgh Penguins as an institution within our community. They're great at hockey. They were not so great at development. But now we have an opportunity for the authorities to lead an effort in collaboration with the community. And I do want to stress that this will be done in collaboration with the community to ensure that not every wrong can be righted, but we can certainly create a high level development and highly equitable development that is not only beneficial to the city, but also to the Hill District residents, to the African American community, the city as whole. And so I'm actually really excited about the opportunity before us. I think collectively we will figure out how to do something great on this site.
Thank you, Councilman. I don't know if there's any other questions or comments from board members on this. Yeah, I mean, as someone who's been involved in this project from different angles and aspects for quite some time, you know, I think we're at a place now where maybe we didn't anticipate being, but I would echo, I think what a number of us have said, you know, and the councilman said, and we've heard from others is, you know, it is a tremendous opportunity, but I think the weight of that is not lost on, you know, those of us who have been involved with it for a while about the responsibility that it does put upon the authorities and the public to ensure that, you know, not only something is built there, but that it is done in a way that is able to uplift and benefit the broader Hill District community, honor commitments that have been made to the community for decades now, and find a way to do that that also, you know, opens up opportunities not just for businesses but for workforce and residents of the Hill to really build sustainable, you know, family sustaining career pathways. So excited to see, you know, how that looks and what that means going forward. And thank those that are at the table with us for these conversations to work through the details of all of that. So. Moving on, staying with the Hill District, our next announcement is for the Greater Hill District Neighborhood Reinvestment Fund. And I will turn it over to Julia McMahon.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julia McMahon, and I'm a Senior Project Manager in the Development Services Unit. I'm here today on behalf of the Greater Hill District Neighborhood Reinvestment Fund Advisory Board and the URA to announce the opening of an application round for 3 new grant programs, promising nearly $1.3 million in targeted investment in the Greater Hill District. The Greater Hill District Neighborhood Reinvestment Fund is a community-driven fund that takes diverted future tax revenues from the development activities on the Lower Hill site and provides funding for investments and development projects and community needs throughout the Greater Hill District. The programs we're talking about today are Children, Youth, and Education Initiatives. $240,000 have been allocated for the program, with grants up to $25,000. Development Program Initiatives. $930,000 have been allocated for the program, with grants up to $250,000. And Workforce Development Initiatives. $120,000 have been allocated, with grants up to $30,000. Applications for the programs are open through April 30th, 2026, or until funds are fully awarded, whichever comes first. And applications will be reviewed on a rolling basis. You can learn more about the programs, eligibility criteria, and how to apply. On the URA's webpage, there is a page dedicated to the fund, so it's the Greater Hill District Neighborhood Reinvestment Fund Initiative page. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Julie. Questions, comments from board members?
quick comment. Want to thank Julia for all her work. I don't see Kirk here, but want to thank him for all his work on moving this forward as well. But also just want to thank and acknowledge the Marimba Malines from the Hill CDC for her advocacy as well as the community's advocacy to actually secure these fundings so that they can indeed benefit the Greater Hill District community. So thank you.
Here. Our next announcement is an RFP for 710 North Homewood Avenue, and I'm turning it over to Gordon Hall.
Good afternoon, Board. My name is Gordon Hall, and I'm a project manager with Development Services. I'm announcing the release of a request for proposals for the redevelopment of 710 North Homewood Avenue. We will be releasing the RFP on Monday, November 17th, 2025 on our public bidding platform, Ion Wave Technologies. Proposals are due by the end of the day on Friday, January 23rd, 2026. The URA is seeking developers and/or development teams to submit a proposal for the purchase and redevelopment of 710 North Homewood Avenue and the 2 adjoining parcels of land located in the Homewood South neighborhood in the city of Pittsburgh. The acquisition price for the 3 parcels is $270,000. Preference will be given to respondents who propose developing the site for mixed use, with commercial use on the first floor and residential units on the second and third stories. As part of an effort to prepare the Homewood Business District corridor for redevelopment, the URA recently completed a structural stabilization, which included a roof replacement, asbestos abatement, masonry work and restoration, mold remediation, and interior selective demolition on this building. This structural stabilization was part of a larger ARPA-funded initiative to remediate blighted, publicly owned properties along the business district. The goal of this work is to create future development opportunities by providing the Homewood Avenue Business District with clean, development-ready sites assembled for future projects. With that, I will pause for any questions and comments.
Thanks, Gordon. Any questions, comments from board members? Okay, it's exciting to see this one move forward. Thanks, Gordon. Our next announcement is an invitation for bids on 2726 to 2728 Bedford Ave. And I'm turning it over to Brandon Wilson.
Good afternoon. My name is Brandon Wilson, and I am a senior project manager in the URA's residential and consumer lending department. I'm pleased to announce that the URA is releasing an invitation for bids for stabilization services at 2726 and 2728 Bedford Avenue. The IFB will be released on November 17th, 2025 on our public bidding platform, Ion Wave Technologies. Proposals are due by Monday, December 8th, 2025 at 2 p.m. URA is seeking bids for qualified contractors for the stabilization and selective demolition of 2 attached townhomes in the Bedford Dwellings neighborhood of Pittsburgh. These 2 units are at the end of the 2700 block of Bedford Avenue, which consists of 15 attached single-family townhomes. The project team, which includes the Pittsburgh Housing Development Corporation, or PHDC, the Hill CDC, and the city and the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh, owns combination of these 15 units. The Hill CDC owns these 2 end units and is seeking to stabilize them as soon as possible. The team will utilize plans from our architecture and engineering consultants to shore walls and preserve facades to maintain the character of these units. The project team will hold a pre-proposal meeting and site visit at 9 a.m. on Thursday, November 20th, 2025. The rehabilitation and repair of these properties is funded by the Bedford Choice Neighborhoods Implementation Grant. The URA and the Hill CDC properties will all be rehabilitated and stabilized and sold to first-time home buyers. We anticipate putting the entire 2700 block out for stabilization and rehabilitation in early 2026. With that, I will pause for any questions and comments.
Thank you, Brandon. Questions or comments from board members? No? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Just want the record to reflect that Director Williamson has joined us now virtually. Our next announcement is regarding URAs in the neighborhood, and M. Beal is joining us for this.
Thank you, Board. My name is M. Bell. I am the Communications and Marketing Analyst for Invest PGH in the Commercial and Business Lending Department. I'm pleased to share that our department just concluded our 2025 URA in the neighborhood, where myself and my colleagues went door to door in business districts to visit our community members and see if and how the URA and Invest PGH can help. This year, we visited 8 neighborhoods with a total of 268 businesses within them, 17 of which were already our clients. Meeting with each business, we tell them a little bit about the URA and Invest PGH and what we can do. Our lending programs offer rates drastically below market, and those programs are flexible and mission-driven. In fact, I'm pleased to report that more than 80% of our lending is to minority and women-owned businesses. And we don't just lend, we're able to offer free business counseling and technical assistance. Through our partners like the Chatham Center for Women's Entrepreneurship and the Financial Empowerment Center, we're able to help with business planning, marketing, and more. So what's next? After a successful year, we'll be taking everything we've learned back out onto the streets. So look for us in your neighborhood in spring of 2026. Thank you for the opportunity to share our hard work with you today. We are proud of it, not just the numbers, but the connections we were able to make along the way.
Thanks, Em. Questions, comments from board members?
I'll just say quickly, thank you. I know that there have been several businesses and organizations in my district that have, thank you. I was just gonna say thank you. There have been several businesses and organizations in my district that have greatly benefited from your services. So thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Our next announcement's the Q3 quarterly impact report, and John Bonello's here with us for this.
Good afternoon. My name is John Bonello. I'm a senior data and evaluation specialist in the Strategic Data and Impact Unit. And I'm back with another quarterly impact report for the Q3 of 2025. As you may know, SD&I spends the first 6 weeks of every quarter collecting and analyzing the outputs from the previous quarter to report our progress towards our strategic goals. Now on your screen are some highlights from the Q3 2025 URA impact report. 20 businesses connected to technical assistance through URA and its affiliates. 172 individuals were able to stay in their homes through housing-related legal assistance provided by the Housing Opportunity Fund. 18 individuals were assisted in achieving home ownership through the HOF Down Payment and Closing Cost Assistance Program. 245 units of affordable housing were created or preserved with assistance through our residential and consumer lending programs. 7 small business loans were closed with our partner, Invest PGH, worth over $445,000, and roughly $219,000 were dispersed to businesses maintaining vacant lots and supporting neighborhood projects. The full report is now live on the impact page of the website and shows more of the great work that was done by the URA in our Q3. We encourage anyone who's interested in taking a closer look at some of these metrics to go to the impact section of the website listed under the About Us heading. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Questions, comments from board members? I feel like we say it every time you're here. It feels like you were just here, but thanks. Thank you for working with your colleagues to gather all the data, John, and show us, in aggregate, the impact that it makes. Appreciate it. And our last announcement is a congratulations for Madeline Augello, and I will turn it over to Chief Link.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Mr. Chair, members of the board, the public. I have to get my glasses. Yeah, so please join me in congratulating our colleague and friend Madeline Augello for 40 years of public service here at the URA. Personally, I've had the honor of working with you, Madeline, for the entirety of my career, which is not 40 years, but it's many years at this point. Your expertise, your commitment to perfection, I mean that truly always honoring our role as stewards of public trust have really marked your service here at the URA and counting, I should say. You're an expert professional, you're a friend to so many of us here who are here now, and to many of us who have come and gone over many years here at the URA. And I know that there's many folks who are truly touched by working with you and being your friend over all of these years. And some of us have been lucky to have been sang to. So if you haven't heard Madeline sing before, you're missing out. She's a beautiful voice, and I encourage that. So again, Madeline, congratulations. Again, the public acknowledgement of your service, and I think that's important. And just again, everyone, please join me in congratulating Madeline on 40 years. So I have a gold watch for you. No, I'm just kidding. But I will, this is a, I'll tell you what, I will hand this to you when I come back around. But this is an acknowledgement of your service here at the URA. So you're very welcome.
I was really hoping you were going to sing, Tom. That's, yeah,
No, I'm not going to sing.
I feel shortchanged. Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Moving into today's agenda, with a few items in housing and then our standard consent agenda and disclosures. Our first item in housing is the 2026 Housing Opportunity Fund Annual Allocation Plan. Brandon Wilson is coming back for this one.
Hello again. My name is Brandon Wilson, and I am a senior project manager in the URA's Residential and Consumer Lending Department. And I am here to request the URA Board's approval of the 2026 allocation plan for the Housing Opportunity Fund. This will be the 9th allocation plan since the fund began in 2018. Over a 13-week period, the URA collected survey responses from city residents to inform how to prioritize funding for HOF programs in 2026. The URA collected 631 unique submissions from respondents. Outreach methods included virtual community meetings, in-person community engagement, email campaigns, and social media. URA staff compiled survey results and shared it with the HOF Advisory Board to help guide the Advisory Board's decisions. The draft annual allocation plan was created at the October 7th, 2025 HOF Advisory Board meeting. On the same day, the URA published the draft allocation plan on the URA website with instructions for public comment. The URA received 13 comments and presented them to the HOF Advisory Board for discussion. At the November 4th, 2025 HOF Advisory Board meeting, the Advisory Board amended the plan to increase the line item for the legal assistance program for tenants based on the public comments received. The 2026 HOF annual allocation plan, as amended, was approved by the HOF Advisory Board at the November 4th, 2025 meeting. If approved by the URA Board, the 2026 HOF annual allocation plan will be presented to the City Council for review and approval. I'd like to thank the city for trusting the URA with housing opportunity funds. I'd also like to thank the HOF Advisory Board, including the chair, Adrian Walnaha. And finally, I'd like to thank my colleagues in the Housing Department who conduct the day-to-day work of using these funds to help the residents of Pittsburgh through a myriad of housing affordability challenges. With that, I'll pause for any questions and comments.
Thanks, Brandon. Adrian, I see that you're online. I don't know if there's anything you'd like to add to Brandon's presentation.
I would just like to say that the advisory board was very careful in this year's allocation review, utilizing data related to how the programs are being accessed and how the funds have been able to come out of the fund and be utilized on the ground by organizations. We tried to create a really good balance between preservation and new construction. And HOF Advisory Board members were very candid in their experience in seeing how these funds are deployed. And all Advisory Board members did participate in the allocation planning process. So we thank the URA for considering our allocation plan draft for 2026.
Okay, thank you. Questions, comments from board members?
Excuse me, quick question. Are there still dollars left in the small landlord fund from previous allocation?
I'm
Yes,
sorry,
there
I guess-
are.
Okay, that was my assumption. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments, Director?
I'd just like to make a quick comment and thank the HOF board. It's a 17-member board. They give at minimum 3 to 4 hours per week. They are volunteers, and just want to thank you, Adrian, for your leadership in the HOF board. You're really, the way you conduct the meetings is very thoughtful, inclusive, and just really appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'd echo Director Nimani Stanger's, thanks to the advisory board member and Adrian, you in particular, for kind of shepherding and guiding folks through the process. Brandon, you and your team. I know there's a lot of really impactful programs in particular organizations that are interested in each of them, and it's not an easy task given need to balance all of that, and do truly appreciate the thoughtfulness and the way in which you all approach that year over year. So thank you for providing us with something that is well considered, reasoned, and Adrian, as you said, kind of grounded in data that the team provides, as well as they're able to provide not just on program kind of deliverables, but need as they see it in the community. And I know you all ground truth that through interactions with community groups and residents as well. I do want to go back to briefly something that was said during public comment and Councilman that, is kind of being ballied about with some of your colleagues in terms of maybe the wisdom of the continuing the Housing Opportunity Fund, in next year or in coming years. And, I can't think of anything that's a more impactful use of city resources than what we're able to effectuate through the programs that are funded via the Housing Opportunity Fund, and what it's able to do to ensure folks either have long-term homes that they're able to access, or able to stay in their homes when they're in crisis. And, given sort of the realities and the constraints of the budget, I can appreciate, needing to tighten the belt, and would contend that the budget proposal does that. And I don't know that looking to this program as a way to save monies is in the long term and prudent interest, not just of the city, but in interest of our residents. So I did want to make sure to comment on that, given it was brought up during the public comments that we heard. So if there's no other questions or comments from board members, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Motion carries. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Our next item on the agenda is the legal assistance program for homeowners, and Brianna Benjamin is joining us for that.
Good afternoon, URA Board, URA staff, and members of the public. I am Brianna Benjamin, Hoff Senior Program Coordinator, and today I'm here to seek authorization to enter into Legal Assistance Program Homeowners Professional Service Agreements with 4 service providers for estate planning, foreclosure prevention, and tangled title services provided citywide for a maximum combined amount of up to $200,000 utilizing the HOF 2025 funding. LAP-H is designed as a vital lifeline for vulnerable homeowners across Pittsburgh. This program offers essential one-time legal services to individuals facing the daunting prospect of losing their homes due to foreclosure or grappling with complex legal challenges such as tangled titles and crucial estate planning issues. These concerns, if left unaddressed, can lead to devastating consequences for families, stripping away generational wealth and undermining overall community stability. To qualify for this assistance, applicants must be the homeowner or legal occupant of their primary residence with the City of Pittsburgh, demonstrating a legal interest in the property. Furthermore, to ensure support reaches those most in need, clients must meet an income threshold at or below 80% of Pittsburgh's area median income. The program's core services are structured around 3 pillars: tangled title resolution, foreclosure prevention, and estate planning. The URA recognized the need for these specialized services, issuing a request for proposals for legal assistance providers with an allocated budget of $200,000. The URA released the RFP on September 15th and closed for responses on September 29th. The response received totaled $327,500 in submitted proposals, powerfully underscored the significant demand within our community. We're proud to announce that 4 highly qualified legal providers stepped forward to answer this critical call: WAVE, Catapult Greater Pittsburgh, Neighborhood Legal Services, and Morant Law. Collectively, these organizations bring an impressive 80 years of dedicated experience to serving Pittsburgh residents. A cornerstone of LAP-H is the powerful alliance formed by three of these respondents, Neighborhood Legal Services, Catapult Greater Pittsburgh, and WAVE, into the Home Ownership Preservation Collaborative. The collaborative represents a strategic coming together of leading legal aid organizations, community-based partners, and housing preservation experts across Allegheny County. Their collective mission is to establish a truly comprehensive and integrated system for home ownership preservation. The collaborative's multifaceted approach is designed not to just react to crises, but to build long-term resilience within our communities. Their work encompasses diligently preventing foreclosures, resolving the complexities of tangled titles, safeguarding heirs' rights, expanding access to crucial financial counseling, and ultimately promoting sustainable home ownership to preserve and grow generational wealth. They achieve this by ensuring homeowners have a seamless access to critical legal aid, tailored estate planning services, expert resource navigation, and robust housing stabilization support. Beyond immediate assistance, the collaborative actively strengthens housing stability through proactive initiatives such as will clinics, comprehensive financial literacy programs, and educational outreach. These efforts are crucial in preventing future tangled title and ownership issues, ensuring that quality, safe, and affordable housing remains a foundation for all residents of Allegheny County. This vital work is further amplified through ongoing collaboration with other housing creation and preservation organizations, extending reach and impact in areas like community outreach, home repair access, advanced financial counseling, and estate planning education. And as you can see, the program administrators who will provide tangled title services will also provide estate planning services to provide a holistic, cost-effective solution for clients to preserve generational wealth and provide a comprehensive asset protection integrated approach. Implementing preventative measures, which is the estate plan, will ensure that the problem does not recur in future generations. And not only will this reduce risk of future issues, but it will also provide the homeowner with clarity and a peace of mind to ensure that their wishes are legally documented and followed. And foreclosure prevention allows homeowners to maintain equity in their homes and provide long-term financial stability. Prevention programs help homeowners create affordable and sustainable repayment plans, refinance, or modify their loans to fit their budget, giving them the tools for financial future control. So thank you for your time and attention to this essential program. LAP-H is ready to continue making a profound difference in the lives of countless Pittsburgh families for safeguarding their homes and building a more sustainable and equitable community. And so for a more in-depth approach into their services and marketing strategies as a collaborative, there are representatives here from each organization.
Thanks, Brianna. Tammy, Charlize, Christine, I see the three of you on. I'm not sure if there's anyone on from Morant Law, but would turn it over to you if there's anything you'd like to add to Brianna's presentation.
Yes, this is Charlize.
Yeah, Charlize is going to speak. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Charlize, the Executive Director of WAVE. We work diligently on this collaboration. Of course, I have always collaborated with Catapult Greater Pittsburgh on other projects. We believe that this process and this collaboration will actually allow us to have a holistic approach on the families that we serve. Our organization is PHFA and HUD certified, and we were just approved about 6 months ago to participate in the Save Your Home program, which we are seeing a huge increase in foreclosure. So it's very important that we have this collaboration in order to make sure that these families are sustainable and prevent continued increase in homelessness in Allegheny County in the city of Pittsburgh. We will also try to attempt to apply for other grants as a collaborative so that we can continue this efforts in order to provide a holistic approach.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from board members? Representative?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of the organizations that have decided to step up and work on this incredibly important issue. When we talk about our housing crisis, is often on the production side, not the preservation side. And even within the preservation world, it's often land banking, land recycling, not making sure that folks are able to stay in their homes. And so thank you for everyone coordinating this effort, and for, again, the organizations being willing to join us and partner with us on this critical work.
Can I just say one thing really quickly?
Go ahead, Tammy.
I just want to say we are extremely appreciative of the leadership of the Pittsburgh Foundation in helping us establish this collaborative, and also extremely grateful for the funds being allocated from HOF. But I can't, I tried to sit here and not say anything, but I can't. This is a very big problem in our city. I think Tangle Title and a lot of the foreclosure increases are kind of flying under the radar and have been for quite a while. I would just want to make a suggestion that as folks are planning budgets and thinking about some of the most serious issues that our residents are facing, particularly around sustainability of homeownership, we need more money than this. This is a very costly endeavor. We've been very lucky to raise money from other sources across the country, but that money won't last forever. We need to get really serious in this city about addressing Tangle Title specifically. It's a big contributor to blight, vacancy, and abandonment. And if we do not get our arms around it, we're going to be in trouble. So I just wanted to say that we need more money to do this work. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from board members? Tammy, you took some of the what I was going to say sort of out of my mouth in terms of the scale of the issue before us. I think it's something that I know the advisory board and during the conversations around even just starting the Housing Opportunity Fund was something that folks wanted to address, but was something that there hadn't been a lot of organizations focused on. So first, thank you all for stepping up and stepping into that gap to provide that service and do that work for our residents. Heard on the need for more resources. I believe, Brianna, this is funds from last year's allocation plan, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it does look like there's a slight increase in the allocation fund next year, recognizing though that the need is vast. That said, if there's no other questions or comments, entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Motion carries. Thank you all.
Thank you.
That takes us into our consent agenda. It's just the one slide. If there's no questions or comments from board members on the consent agenda, I'll entertain a motion to approve in its entirety. We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Consent agenda is approved. And then lastly, just our disclosures. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all.